Hey everyone, today we're going to be walking through performing a battery change on a G Shock GMA-S140M, and this is the 5613 module. Let's get right into it. To perform this battery change, we're going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver, a spring bar removal tool, ideally metal tweezers, but if you don't have metal tweezers, you can just use a metal paper clip, and our replacement battery, which is CR1220. Getting started with this battery replacement, the first thing we're going to need to do is flip our watch over and remove our straps. So as we can see down there, we have our spring bars and they have little lips, and our spring bar removal tool has a notch. Simply wrap that notch around the lips on those bars and twist our strap out. And I always like to hold my thumb there just in case that bar tries to fly out on me. And now we'll do the same for the other side. And now with our straps removed and out of the way, we can go ahead and remove our 4 case back screws and set them aside for later. And next we can go ahead and lift our case back right off, and don't worry, sometimes the rubber gasket will come off attached to the case back. We'll reinstall that when we're reassembling the watch. Now that we're inside the watch, the first thing we're going to want to do is simply lift out this rubber layer and set it aside. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and rotate my watch, and this is where having those metal tweezers or that paper clip will come in handy. As we can see right here, there's a little latch, and this is what's holding our battery in place. We simply want to grab our tweezers or paper clip, go behind that latch, pull out towards us, and that will unlatch the battery. Now we can grab that old battery, take it out, and get rid of it. Now we can come on in with our new battery. Again, this is a CR1220. We're simply going to drop it right in there and press our latch down. You'll usually feel or hear it click right into place. So now our new battery is installed. Now we're ready to perform our AC reset. This is simply going to reset the module to factory defaults, clear any errors if there are any. This is where having those metal tweezers will come in handy, but if you're using a paper clip, you can simply bend it into an arch. You just want to have 2 metal points. I'm going to go ahead and rotate the module all the way around here. As we can see, there's a little label here, AC, with an arrow pointing into this hole. There's a gold panel at the bottom of that hole. What we simply want to do is contact one point of our metal to that gold panel and the other point to the metal on our module, and hold it for about 2 seconds. And then just to ensure that we've performed the reset correctly, I always advise holding a finger over this spring here. You don't want that spring to fall out because it's important for the sound of your watch. Go ahead and flip the watch over and we should see it start flashing sub. So now we know that our module has been properly reset. And very quickly, I want to run over something that typically can happen with this watch. As we can see, my module is not sitting perfectly flush in there. I'm going to flip it around just so you guys can follow what I'm doing a bit easier here. It's simply these plungers right here. The button presses these plungers and that contacts the module. You just need to grab something, pull the plungers back, and press down, and then you'll feel the module click right back into place and it'll be flush in there. So now we're ready to reassemble. So our first step in reassembly is going to be putting that little rubber layer we took out back in place. As we can see, there's a hole here. That's where this spring's going to go through, and then this little rectangular hole, this metal tab's going to protrude through. So we'll simply drop it right in place and make sure that everything is sticking out properly. And next, in case your gasket came out when you were disassembling the watch, it's simply a circle. We're going to drop it right in the groove there. And I like to use my tweezers to make any fine adjustments if needed. We just want to make sure that that gasket is perfectly seated in that groove. And now we're ready to reinstall our case back. So we simply want to remember that our spring indicates the upper portion of our watch. So we want to make sure that our Casio and G Shock logos are properly oriented. We'll simply drop it in place. You'll feel it kind of slip right into that groove. And now we can go ahead and reinstall our case back screws. What I typically will do is hold my thumb on the case back so it doesn't slide around, drop my screws in, just get them started. And now all we need to do is snug them up. And remember, they don't need to be super tight, just snug, because these are very delicate screws. Now we're ready to get those straps reinstalled. So what I usually like to do is grab my strap and my spring bar, thread the bar through, leave a little more sticking out on one end, then I'll grab my watch and we can see the hole where the spring bar is going to go in. I like to just tilt it, get one end right in the hole there, and then hold it in place. Now I just come in with my spring bar tool, pull the bar down, and get it seated properly. Then we'll do the same for the other side. And now those are nice and secure on there. Alright, so now we're almost done, but we have one final step. We need to recalibrate the hands because when we perform the AC reset, it thinks wherever the hands were is 12 o'clock, so when we set the time, it's going to display the wrong time. So to do this, we're going to press and hold our forward button, which is our bottom right. We'll hear it beep and it'll start flashing that sub again. So now we're controlling this sub dial. We want the sub, which we can only adjust by clicking forward one at a time, to be pointing directly up. And now we'll go ahead and press mode, and now we'll see 000, which is our minute and hour hands. We want this to be pointing at directly 12 o'clock. And we can control this doing forward and reverse. And once everything is properly aligned, we'll simply press adjust once more. And now when we set the time, our hands will display the right time. So at this point we are done. As we can see, all of our modes cycle through. If we press and hold adjust, we can hear a beep, so our beep is still working, and our backlight works. So our watch is completely ready to wear again. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this battery change tutorial. I really hope that it was clear and helpful. If you have any questions for me, please be sure to leave them down below in the comments. And if you're interested in more tutorials and watch-related content, please do consider subscribing. I cover a wide range of G Shock, Baby G, and normal Casio products, so please stay tuned for more. Thanks everyone.